everybody. If we can get settled down, we'll get started in about a minute. Before we get started, I'd like to ask Tim Broad to come up and lead us in the pledge.
Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Tim. I have to talk louder because I don't have that voice like Tim has. Tim and I and ladies, please, and Janet, we're in the Follies coming up, and so Tim's voice does carry, so it makes us all have to talk a little bit louder. But it's a joy to do that. Do we have a quorum, Madam Secretary?
Yes.
Okay, we do have a quorum. That is great. Okay. Let me recognize some people. Can I have the next slide, please? This is our RAC Executive Committee, made up of myself, Sarah Chambers, our Vice President, who also is a past president, Janet Warren, who's doing a great job as Secretary, and our immediate past president, Janice Harris, who just celebrated her 90th birthday. I don't know if I was supposed to tell them that. It's kind of common knowledge, but congratulations. Next. She says we're never too old for a job. Next slide, please. Okay, these are our RAC representatives. These are the people on your floor who are watching what happens, making sure, and that we say we are the eyes, ears, and voice of Freedom Plaza. They are truly the ones finding out what's going on. They are the eyes, they are the ears, so that they can bring it together and we can voice whatever concerns we have. Next, please. Okay. This is our RAC Council, which is made up of those members, plus some past presidents. And so they are great people. In addition, we have a great gentleman who does all these slides and helps us out with a whole lot of things, and he's not on there, but Don Vore. Don, thank you for everything you do. And then we have all our wonderful committee chairs. These are the people that make it happen. We see what happens, we tell them what happens, but they consider it and they make it happen in addition to being an additional set of eyes and going around. So thank you, committee chairs. What I'd like to do is, before I get into any remarks or anything, I'd like to share a little video I saw with you. I think you might enjoy it. If I didn't forget to play it, I'd be ashamed. So would you play this video, please?
You know, sometimes, as much as you try to fight the whole change and aging process, sometimes things happen that is so strong in your face, just smacks you dead in your face, that you just have to go, okay, it is what it is. It's a true story. I'm coming out of the mall, right? Walking out of the mall, and I'm just digging through my purse, just rifling through my bag, and I'm talking to my friend, and she could tell that I was distracted. She's like, Wanda, are you listening to me? I was like, girl, I'm sorry, but I think I left my cell phone in the store. And she goes, okay, well, call me back when you find it. Sometimes...
I don't know. if that ever happens, or things like that happen to anybody, but I know it happens to me, where, you know, you're looking for something and you're probably holding it in your hand, and so I enjoyed that. I'm glad you guys did as well. We all know that floor meetings have concluded. We had many of you, I'm sure, at the floor meetings, being you're here, you're actively involved, but and they won't start up again for a few months, but Andy will tell you that. But I want you to know that in the interim, you can always let your floor rep know what's going on. You can fill in forms on recrep.org for the various committees that are there. You can fill in another form if you want for the suggestion box of things you see that maybe should change a little bit. And when you do all that, follow-up does occur. It's just something to do between all these floor meetings to make sure when you see something that needs attention or you think of something that would make life better here to get the word out. Of course, you can always go personally to any of the managers or to Angie. They're lined up at your door now. I also want to let you know that the current movie schedule on racrep.org is not up to date. We're working on a system. Excuse me. There's been some changes, and we need to get things coordinated again. Also on racrep.org, we'll be adding information about clubs. Now, clubs have nothing to do with rec, kind of. We have a committee that oversees them, working with Susie, but the clubs are independent. But you are all citizens and should know what we have here and what's going on. So we'll be adding a section on RACREP about clubs and what clubs and activities we have going on there. And also from time to time, we'll be featuring one of them here if they ask and say, hey, can I speak to the group of people? And one of these activities is Black History Month. And what I'd like to do is ask Sarah Chambers, my vice president, to come up and just talk briefly about Black History Month. I know you're not prepared, but I know you can say a few words about it.
Surprise. Thank you, Ron. Black History Month, in case not everyone knows, is the month of February. It was designated by Congress as Black History Month. So we may have a day for this and a day for that, but we have a whole month for Black History Month. Therefore, we do a lot of things here to recognize Black History Month. When you see your weekly and you see this little funny symbol that looks like an ET standing on 2 feet, that's called the Wawa Aba, and that is the official symbol for Black History Month, and we use it in the weekly to indicate when a particular event is all about Black History Month. So you will see at some point during the month a special buffet that Chef Chris has prepared for us that is specific about Black history. You will come across a movie. I understand that the name of the movie is Harriet. It's about Harriet Tubman, very famous Black woman. You will see a variety of events that go on, including books in the library, sometimes things on the poetry, things from the writers group. So keep your eye open for the Wawa Aba, and especially please participate in the Name That Person contest. The Name That Person contest is a contest that we started in 2012, and each week of Black History Month, before we had the wonderful invention racrep.org, thank you, Ron, we only had a bulletin board that we put up on an easel down by the mailboxes. And we would put a little mini bio of a famous African American, and in that mini bio, I would put cryptic clues, very cryptic clues. And usually a cryptic picture. Oh, it would be a picture of the person, but maybe when they were 2 weeks old or 105, so that they were not the typical picture you would have seen on a regular basis. And you have a little form you can fill out that was down in the atrium. You drop it in a box, and at the end of the week, all the correct answers went into another box. We would pull a name, and administration gave a prize. Well, as of last year, when we had rackrep.org finally, Ron put the contest there too. So we will have the bulletin board for those of you who don't go on the computer. We could help you with that. But the tech committee is good. Call Rock, they'll set you up with an appointment. But for those of you who insist, you can look at the bulletin board that's down behind the mailboxes starting next Tuesday, and you will see the cryptic bio, and you will see the picture. And the next week, on Tuesday, you will see a new person, and you will see the answer to the old person. So each week you will have the opportunity to learn about a famous African American. And it's fair to use Google. This is supposed to be a learning process. This is supposed to be an opportunity to find out new things that will be meaningful. So I strongly suggest that you look at the cryptic clues and pick them out carefully, search on Google, and see what you can find, and turn in the name. So it will be very easy on rackrep.org. You just click and follow the directions, right, Ron? So I hope that you will all volunteer. Angie and Stephanie can't wait to give away those prizes. Ladies, what's the prize this year? Lunch in the grill?
Sounds good.
How about 2 lunches in the, all right, 2 lunches in the grill for the winner. So I look forward, and by the way, I know who's been naughty and who's been nice. I get a list of who fills in the form. So see you all, and enjoy Black History Month.
Thank you so much. I also want to just mention some things that I've noted that really have happened around here. We now have new highly efficient air filters in all our common areas. And thanks to a gentleman sitting back there who was fighting for those air filters, Don Dion, we have some really great air filtration taking place in all our common areas, and hopefully soon in our apartments. He worked very hard with our maintenance people to get them to understand what was needed. I appreciate the lighting in the covered parking area. It was out for a while, and it was kind of scary at night, but now the lighting is back on. The golf cart area really looks nice. If you haven't seen it, go take a look at it compared to what it was. I think things are just really getting back to new normal. I mean, there was a normal, but there's a new normal. Also want to compliment our tech committee. They've been in full swing with our residents. There's many challenges that come up. Everything from my TV control doesn't work, to my printer's not talking to my computer, to all kinds of sometimes crazy things like the control for my bed isn't working, or I don't know. But I do want to thank Chairperson Diane Bergman for keeping that committee going strong. We did approve some changes for you that allow all the people to stay on indefinitely, just like our VIP committee, so they don't have term limits, although you as president still do, but the people on there can stay on, and you can even have 2 people per apartment. It's okay. So I thank you for all the hard work you've been doing. In fact, all our committees have been going strong. One of the joys for me is working with Angie. We may not always agree, but we always both try to accommodate each other's views. And well, with that being said, I'd like to bring up Executive Director Angie.
Good morning, everybody. I just have a couple of updates for everybody. I will say that we do have 2 more floor meetings next week. The one on Monday is the GBT 9 and 10. And then Thursday we have one which is a makeup meeting. So if you are unable to attend your designated floor or wing meeting, you can come next Thursday at 10 o'clock in the club room. And then we're gonna take about a month off, so we do our homework from all the feedback we received from the meetings this round, and then we'll start another round of meetings. Because I'm sure at that point, there's gonna be all sorts of new topics to discuss. Wanted to give an update on sales from the 4th quarter. So we had 14 sales in the 4th quarter against a budget of 13, so we exceeded our quarter budget by 1. For the year, we had 44 sales on a budget of 41. So we exceeded our sales budget by 3 sales, and that's probably the first time I can remember in several years that we've exceeded our sales budget in number. But the even more impressive statistic is that we exceeded sales by 3, but we exceeded our entry fee cash dollars by $1.7 million, which is excellent. That's our little silver lining to our financial performance last year. But we have a really achievable budget this year, and I'm optimistic that we're gonna perform really, really well. Our new DFS, Mary Lidecker, starts on Monday. She is going to be bartending with me for Wine Down Monday, so I told her that's probably the best way to meet the most amount of residents in the shortest amount of time. However, her formal welcome will be at the February resident town hall meeting, and that will also be our final farewell to Joey, who's moving on to be the executive director at Freedom Square. He's here today, and he's going to be here most of the next 2 weeks helping Mary get trained and onboarded. We're really excited to get her started here at Freedom Plaza. She's going to be a great asset to all of us. We did receive our approved capital budget for 2022. The big highlights of that capital budget are a full renovation of Freedom Plaza Assisted Living and the Arbors Memory Care. It's a $2.5 million project. It's going to include a full renovation of all the common areas, furniture, fixtures, equipment, lighting. We're going to completely renovate the kitchen there, dining room. Really excited to get that project started. We also have some money allotted to do some minor renovations to our dining rooms here in the Plaza building. The rooms on the Maui side are in desperate need of some new chairs and some flooring. So we're gonna take care of that in 2022. We also have some money approved for decor and Plaza West kitchen renovation. They're doing all the common area renovation right now at Plaza West, but we don't have any kitchen renovation as part of that project. So we're gonna do some kitchen updates this year at Plaza West. Just to keep everyone updated, so the timeline for renovation of this building will be 2023. So our plan is that next year we do the Plaza building, and then in 2024 we'll do the Gulfview Terrace buildings interior common area renovations. And that's just the schedule how we did it the last time, so we just sort of kept the same order. But that's our plan. There's a lot of other projects that are approved that get Sibby more excited than I get excited about. Things like fire panels and boilers. And he can explain more about that in Town Hall in February. But we did get a very generous capital budget approved for 2022. Health Peak will be visiting on February 22nd. So if you see some visitors walking around the community in the morning, they'll be spending the morning here. We're going to talk about our plans for 2022 from an operations perspective, do some meetings, but also tour the community. And then some of you may remember in December, we had a tour scheduled where the CEO of Health Peak, as well as the CEO of Life Care Services, was going to come and do a tour of Freedom Plaza, and it got canceled at the last minute because one of the gentlemen got sick. Well, that's going to be rescheduled for the first week of March, but as I get more details on that visit, I'll certainly share that with you as well. just want to mention the survey that's out there right now for the residents related to U.S. News and World Report. I'll start by saying it's not mandatory. So we've had some residents say, I don't want to take another survey. And that's absolutely fine if you do not want to take it. Although we do always like to see resident feedback, whether it's positive or constructive, very useful for us to sort of adapt how we do things around here. However, it is an online survey. If you do want to take the survey, it's only available online. Stephanie has your survey code, your individual survey code if you need that. And then the deadline is on Sunday. And I keep putting these reminders out there because I know personally I need reminders for just about everything. So if I pass somebody in the hall and they say, Angie, can you order me this or can I do this? I said, yes, but please email me and remind me, especially if I need to do something. So as I remind you, it's only because I know I need reminders as well to make sure I do what I'm supposed to do. And then my last update is to let you know the tax forms are ready and they are copied and in the resident resource area on the 3rd floor. So if you use those tax forms every year, they are there for you now to pick up. And that's all I have. Any questions for me? All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I don't know, I guess I stole the wrong microphone.
You did.
It's fine.
Well, we have presentations coming up from RAC committees, and also, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to try and recognize some of the activities and things going on here. What I'd like to do is bring up Glenn Swirl to talk about a little group that got together called the Fitness Center Panel and what they are doing to try and help you. Glenn?
Remember, no more than a half hour.
Good morning. I'm here to talk about a new panel that we put together devoted exclusively to the fitness center. First, I will tell you what we do and why we do it. Then I will tell you what we cannot do. And thirdly, I will tell you how you can help us plan for the future. We are a group of volunteers who believe that physical fitness is an integral part of the quality of senior life. We believe that muscle tone will improve balance, will improve endurance, will improve flexibility, and it also contributes to your emotional and psychological health. And in that sense, we are here to help you. What we do is show you how to properly and efficiently use the exercise machines. What we do not do is we are not qualified to put together a muscle tone improvement program for you. We will help you use the machines that you choose, and then we will act as cheerleaders for you. You choose, we show you how to do it. We are not a full-time group. We prefer to be unpaid volunteers, and we prefer our retirement living. So when we are in the exercise room, the fitness center, we will be wearing a badge that says Fitness Center Monitor. And when we are wearing that badge, please come and ask us to help you with your use of the machines. But if we're not wearing that badge, leave us alone. In addition to helping you use the machines and act as cheerleaders for you, we also keep an eye on policing the housekeeping of the 2 rooms. We also take care of the maintenance and the preservations of the machines. we are reinstituting the sign-in sheet that was discontinued during the COVID pandemic. Please, please, please use it. Sign in every time that you come to the fitness center. It will help us greatly improve our services to you and how to plan future things for you. In conclusion, when you come there, you really are on your own. We are here to help you to make your journey friendlier and easier. Thanks for listening.
And I understand that you put up some new posters in there with various forms of exercise that they can do. Thank you so much for that.
Do you have anybody at the GVT Fitness Center?
Well, I will ask the committee if
What was the question?
they want to know if at the GVT Fitness Center, if you guys are going to be over there as well.
Not yet. Maybe later. But that's part of the suggestion box.
Another question?
Is there any way to use, like a room key to check in instead of pencil and paper?
That's a good suggestion, Carol. That's why we have a suggestion box.
Okay.
We can get.
I just thought most people have their key with them, and I thought if you could use it to just check in, that way you would know who comes in and who doesn't.
We can get with Sibby to see if we can make that happen.
Angie said,
It's on. It's on.
Angie said that she could get with Debbie and make that happen. Sibby. Yeah.
Who's on the panel?
Who's on the panel? Alice, Aragon. Yeah. Raise your hand, people. Al Hurlbut. Hurlbert. Fred Henniger. Shannon Warren. Bob Coe. Tom Melick. Thank you, guys. And anyone else who wants to be on the panel, we're open.
Getting back to GVT, when do you expect to have
GVT, when do we expect to be there? We have no idea.
Can we get some volunteers from GVT who would like to join that panel and help them out? I don't see anybody raising their hand right now.
I'm open.
No?
I just wanted to mention that it's important for them to also, when they sign in, indicate what machines they've used so that we can get that data.
Yeah, Ron made it very clear that I had X number of minutes, so I can't cover everything. But when you go there, you'll see that the sign-in sheet that was put together by Bob Coe is very comprehensive, and just follow the bouncing ball.
I think that's just a nice, new, exciting thing going on around here. Now what I'd like to do is bring up a lady who has been working very, very hard all year, raising funds for our associates, reminding you why you want to do that. You are here? Yeah. No, you're right up front. That's why I didn't see you. I'm looking out in the Janet Blackshear, please come up and give us a report on your committee and what's happening. Thank you.
Slide.
Quit laughing, Benny. Okay. I want to thank everyone so much for your support and donations to the 2021 RAC Employee Appreciation Fund. As you know, to piggyback on a Hallmark movie phrase, it was the best year ever. Now, one of the reasons it was the best year ever was we received a generous amount of donations from the families and friends of the residents who reside in Plaza West, the Inn, Freedom Plaza Assisted Living, and the Arbors. We were able to have a letter included in their envelope with their September 2021 bill statement. We got a great response. Since many of the people receiving the statement from Freedom Plaza live in other states, we gave them the option of mailing their donation directly to Wells Fargo Bank or sending it to our treasurer, Deanna Parrish, to stamp the back of the check and deposit it in the bank. They completed the front of the check. If they chose to send the check to Deanna, she sent them a thank you note to let them know she received their check. Now, at the end of last year, Joey and I talked about sending a letter early this year to allow them more time to plan when they wanted to submit their donation. So the letter you received in your mailbox yesterday was intended to go out only in the bill statements to the families of the residents at Freedom Plaza West, Assisted Living, the Arbors, and the Inn. The procedures for independent living donations have not changed. They remain the same as last year. Stephanie sent an email blast yesterday, but I know not everyone has email. So if you have friends who do not have email or don't read their email, please tell them the correct information. We are sorry for any confusion. If any of the hard-working members of this committee are in the audience, please stand when I say your name. Charlotte Fernandez. Kim Freeman. Pat Gillis could not be here today. Kathy Mahoney. Maria Martucci. Jeannie Ninarella, our RAC liaison. Deanna Parrish, our treasurer, who is having shoulder surgery this morning, could not be here. And Judy Smith, our secretary. Thank you, and you may be seated. Now, these women just didn't attend meetings. They also met with new residents to explain the purpose of the fund and to answer any questions the new residents had about the fund. They also gave the new residents a copy of our trifold and our direct deposit form. This personal contact seemed to work very well. And our star or queen of visiting new residents was none other than Kim Freeman. Now, for a total of 19 hours, the committee members took turns sitting at the donation collection table on the first Wednesday of each month during the months of June to November to assist residents who wanted to make donations. Several times, committee members had to change their own schedule in order to be available to assist at the collection table. Now, it takes 2.5 days to distribute the checks. 1 day to distribute checks to the associates who work in the plaza and at GVT. 1 day to distribute checks to the associates who work in Plaza West, the Inn, Freedom Plaza, Assisted Living, and the Arbors. And 1 morning as a makeup day. So it takes 13 hours just to give out the checks. As you know, last year we exceeded our goal of $200,000. We received donations totaling $209,228. Our committee was thrilled because it was a total campus effort. So what are our plans for 2022? We certainly hope we can match the amount we raised last year. We anticipate we will have more associates this year, so we will need that amount and more to ensure no one gets a smaller check this year than they received last year. We know the job market is tough now. When I was working, I drove an hour one way to my job as principal of an elementary school. I did it because I had a great staff who appreciated my efforts, and 500 students who benefited from our combined efforts. My point is, I stayed because I was happy there. As residents, I believe our contribution to Freedom Plaza is to show our associates we care about them and we appreciate the many ways they make our life easier. Today, our bank balance is $28,735.80. So we have a long way to go. We know we can do it. We did it last year. If everyone donates the suggested amount of $2 a day per person, we will have no problem matching or even exceeding the amount we raised last year. And finally, most of the departments sent 1 or 2 cards with the short notes to thank you from everyone in the department that received a check. I want to share 4 thank you messages that express what so many of the associates wrote on the cards. Wendy Hudson, a favorite therapist for a lot of residents, said, "To the residents of Freedom Plaza, thank you all for the Christmas gift. Your generosity is amazing." Apparently, our EMTs are fans of Elvis Presley because they let Elvis say his famous thank you to us. It reads from the EMT department, "Ah, thank you. Thank you very much." From the front desk, Amanda wrote, "Thank you all for the generous gift. We truly appreciate it. We all are blessed to work here and have Freedom Plaza as a second home/family." And from Vanessa, "We appreciate all that you do for us. All of you make it a joy to come to work. Thank you, and let's do it again."
Thank you for all the work you have done. VIP. I was sitting in the audience once when we had a gentleman performing on the stage, and we had our VIP people sitting in the front row. And he wanted to get audience participation. So he kept calling on those people, thinking that they were very important people. Well, they are, but that's not what VIP stands for here. It stands for visually impaired people, persons. It is a wonderful, wonderful group that's helping our people that marginally have some difficulty or seriously have some difficulty. So what I'd like to do is bring up Evelyn Sorensen. There you are. Okay, I guess I'm never looking everywhere. Okay, I'm not even looking in the front row. I'm always looking past. And tell us all about all the wonderful things happening.
Well,
You may want to stand in the center with us.
thank you. I was going to stand behind the podium, but then I realized no one would be able to see me. Voice, so I'm going to stand out here for about 5 minutes. Our VIP group is a very, very conscientious and hardworking group. We realized, I took a little informal survey one time, and we have around 50 people who are affected by this directly, and they may have just limited vision and a little bit beyond just wearing glasses, because so many of us do, but also perception problems as far as depth and getting on and off of elevators and that type of things, because there are many different kind of visual impairments. We are here as a committee to try and help everyone who needs us. And I think that includes the families of people who have relatives who are always having to be challenged by these visual problems. So we've tried different things, and we feel like we can offer to anyone who wants to take part. If you're just interested, that would be fine. But we have on Tuesday, the first Tuesday of every month, we have a support group. At one time, we had a professional facilitator, but she no longer is with us. But now, it's a very informal group, but you'd be surprised at how many people do come and join us, and we really appreciate that. We try to share the problems of what visual impairment is, and there have been much discussion about some of the things that we can do to help ourselves or to help other people that we know. One of my favorite was one that Joe Graff gave us one time. Someone asked, how do you get your toothpaste on your toothbrush? And he said, well, I have to deal with that. I just stick the toothpaste in my mouth, suck it out, and then brush my teeth. I love that. Because that is a real solution to a problem that many visually impaired people may suffer from. I don't know, I'm not that bad yet, but I'm going in that direction. But sometimes people are embarrassed or reluctant to let you know that they need help, and I didn't bring with me this morning, but I should have. If you see a little red plastic dot on a nameplate, and we're going to be ordering some more for people who request them, that means that that person may need a little extra consideration and being able to get their meals or finding a place to sit in the dining room or getting around. Everyone does not have a spouse that is still with them and helping, and thank you so much to our partners and our spouses who are the eyes for people who are so challenged by this. The other thing that we try to do is to present meetings where either at the end of the month, where there are videos of people who have life problems and how they have been able to overcome some of the challenges that they meet every day. As well as we've had live presenters. We had, back at the end of the year, we had a doctor to come in, Dr. Mancera, who is local and is available for people to come. He not only does visual testing and treatment, but he also does surgery if you need it. So we're kind of proud of our speakers that have come in, and we have another one that is scheduled for February, and that's Dr. Piquito out of St. Petersburg. He is a low vision specialist. So we keep striving to try to offer things that will be beneficial and very helpful to the people who are interested, the people who suffer under some of these challenges because of their eyesight, as well as the camaraderie that comes about. And that's about all. I hope if we can help anyone who knows someone with a vision problem or who suffers from a vision problem themselves, that they will contact any one of our committee members. And I'd like for the people who are on our committee to stand up at this time so you can place a name with a face. Phyllis Black, if she's in the audience. Thank you, Phyllis. Kim Freeman, up here in the front row. Okay. Bridget Guarno. There she is, everybody see her? Okay. Mary Houston, who lives out in GVT. I hope she's here today, maybe not. Barbara Kirshner. Okay. Joe Mashab, who is our secretary. Okay. And Tommy Renew. Tommy? In the back, she's waving at us. Okay. Thank you so much for all of your work that you do. It's a hard work.
And I thank you so much for everything you are doing. We have so many wonderful RAC committees that are out there trying to help us in so many ways.
There's a handout, Ron.
Over here, Ron.
I got a question.
I think Evelyn misspoke. Our support group meets the second Tuesday.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
The support group meets the second Tuesday.
And it's not in this room.
Right here in the auditorium.
Yes. What I did forget to mention is that we do have applications and ways of getting in touch with the National Library of Congress for their books that will send you a machine and you can get books on tape, talking books. And lots of people are part of this. And ours come out of, is it Fort Lauderdale or
Daytona Beach.
Daytona Beach? But we do try to encourage people to use that. Because I'm a reader myself, and when it gets beyond large print, then I'm gonna need some help.
Any other questions? This is going to come out of left field, but Pearl, I know that the Plaza Players has been sending out some memos. Would you like to come up and just say a few words? No? Okay, well.
There's really nothing to say, Ron.
Okay, well, if you've seen the memo on the Plaza Players, they've been a great group. I know they have not been active for the past 2 years. It was wonderful for that group. Read the memo. If you can help them, let Pearl know. And let's see if we can keep that group going. With all that, want to thank everybody. If we have no more questions about anything, thank you all for coming. There's still some coffee in the back of the room, I think some scones and stuff like that. So let's.